how it's done, boys. Get out of the cities. We got some chaos out there in the world. A lot of people who appear to be semi-unfazed or just have a passing interest in current events or whatever seem to be frantically worried. Here's the thing. This frantic, schizophrenic zeitgeist is going to continue for years and years and years. It's not going to back down in intensity or anything like that. There will be respite occasionally. Small businesses are going to be destroyed. What's left is going to be this increasingly consolidating funhouse of mega businesses, and the tone of mainstream media is going to keep getting more and more hardcore until you straight up have Saul Alinsky shit being said on the news, the nightly news. It's going to become harder and harder to find independent media. Google is going to get worse. Search results are going to get worse. You're going to be thinking about something you heard months ago about something that's contra to the narrative. You're going to look it up. It's going to be gone. And in general, the United States and Europe and your life and the internet is going to get more and more like a Hall of Mirrors nightmare. The weirdness and sinisterness of the mechanisms used to prevent people from realizing what's up are hard to pinpoint, hard to talk about. If you even start to have a conversation with somebody about it, you're going to sound like you're going crazy. The highest tier of reasoning that goes against the narrative that most people are capable of holding in their head for more than 10 seconds is, it's all the big businesses, dude. It's these corporations, bro. They want us to hate each other. Not saying that there's not a slice of truth to that. Dude, people are crazy, bro. You know what I'm talking about because you see it on your Facebook feed if you're still stupid enough to have a Facebook feed. The only reason I make that point is because it's important to know that this is a long game. Regardless of what side you're on, regardless of whether you are a lefty or on the right side, whatever your goals are or whatever you think your goals are, whatever it is you're trying to achieve is not going to be achieved in the next 10 years. Whatever the end to this chaos is, it's not in sight. You can't see the light at the end of the tunnel from here. Most of my friends, most of the people I hang out with are at least vaguely politically woke. So I talk to people on both sides, and there is a very spooky, alarming sort of strain of mental chaos and mass schizophrenia going on right now, where even people who usually have a handle on reality are stressing out right now. But that's the way it is. This is the game. This is the next 10 to 20 years of your life is going to be perpetual, like it's a shepherd's tone. That's what it is. The media is a shepherd's tone. It's an audio tone that rises, and then as it starts to taper off, another tone rises. It's this continual, like, sawtooth wave. They want you to only be able to think about this. They want you to only be clicking on their website, driving advertising dollars to them. It doesn't matter where you stand politically, because this mechanism is like Bank of America donated $1 billion to Black Lives Matter. If the political tone was any different, they would donate $1 billion to kill all. There's fucking marketing executives sitting around, the most cynical fucking people that you can possibly imagine, and they're totally insulated from the havoc they're creating. If you've seen pictures of the New York City police blocking off the places where rich people live, that's pretty cool. That's crazy. That's very cyberpunk. The things that advertisers and marketing people think in their heads, like they wouldn't piss on a black person on fire if it meant that they would, if it affected their bottom line negatively. Believe that. If Amazon cared about anything, they would pay their workers better. Period. Any message that you see that's an officially sponsored Black Lives Matter message is completely fake. I'll believe that they care when they start blacking out the fucking pop-up ads and banners. Can you imagine that? If you go on CNBC.com or whatever, and all the ads are black, That's what they should do. It's pretty cliche to say that they want us all divided. It's also true that division, mass unrest, and individuals feeling like mentally fractured, all these things benefit pretty much anybody. Like, these things benefit government. They provide an excuse for increasing surveillance or whatever it is that their end game is. It's somehow, I don't know specifically what it is that the shadow cabal is trying to achieve, but they're trying to achieve something, and this shit only serves to make it easier for them to slide stuff in unnoticed. So it's certainly true that people freaking out eventually comes back to bite them in the ass. It's not going to, none of this is going to result in a better, more fair society. It's going to be used to justify some further horrors that nobody cares about because they don't interfere with the NFL or fucking Kesha or motherfucking Nikes. Once they perfect their spying tools, I mean, the term AI is thrown around so usefully, you know. A tic-tac-toe is an AI now. I built an AI, what's it do? It plays tic-tac-toe, that's my AI. It takes 10 minutes of digging around, and you can't even do this anymore because Google suppresses that type of result. This is what hate speech laws are actually designed for. Do you think hate speech laws are designed so that you can't say the N-word? Like, you think anybody in power actually gives a shit about that? Hate speech laws are entirely designed to be used to suppress political opinion that goes against the narrative. It's gotten so bad that all you really have to think about is what's the most evil thing that's realistically possible, and that's probably what the truth is. People who support Black Lives Matter, people who support the left, a lot of them think that they are in possession of radical political opinions. How radical is your opinion when the cops and the National Guard are kneeling and doing the Macarena, dancing with protesters, and every major corporation has put out a message and donated money to this cause? It's a tactical decision. It's not like the cops and the National Guard couldn't crack down on this if they wanted to. It's that it's being allowed to happen. Regardless of how you feel about any of these issues, you have to try to find some type of mental peace and tranquility. People who really care about this shit, they're putting on a show because they think that they're going to be ostracized and labeled a bad person if they don't put on that appearance of caring, which is what happens. I've talked to plenty of people who've been booted from their friend groups for not saying Black Lives Matter hard enough. You have to try to get some type of mental peace, some type of tranquility going on, if only to make yourself a more effective political unit. That's not my suggestion. My suggestion is just to fucking take care of yourself and take care of your fucking family and your people. But your chances are a lot of these people, their families are totally fried, dysfunctional, drug addict, just sludge people who've been molested. Even not the crazy end, but on like the regular end of what happens in dysfunctional families. Like, you live in a small house and you have people yelling all the time. Like that does more damage. That does so much damage. When people like that, when they don't get to satisfy the like stalker gay love for you that they have, and wanting to be your best friend and be the fourth member of MDE. Oh, I could come hang out with you, Nick and Charles, and we'll make sketches. That'll be awesome, right? I mean, there's no point at which you can satisfy them. Even if someone like that, you bring them into the fold completely and make them an equal part of the operation. It's like it's never enough. They just keep wanting more and more to satisfy this like pathological like daddy complex that they have. A lot of the time when you are trying to figure out what's going on with people's political opinions, I think a good amount of the time this stuff is like driven by trauma and people replacing their father with police or like Trump. Like Trump is very much like a daddy that you hate. You have to, for your own sake,